Daredevil Born Again, and we're back, baby. We are back up and running. Daredevil Born Again, they are now resumed filming. That is fantastic news, and my hype has never been bigger than it is now. Because, I mean, obviously, I've been excited for Daredevil Born Again since it was announced because, Charlie Cox, Vincent D'Onofrio, bringing them back as Daredevil and Kingpin. That's great. We're getting a new Daredevil show. Also great. But, there's the obvious concerns just looking at recent projects in the MCU, particularly Disney Plus series, and thinking, are they going to Disney Plusify our Daredevil? Are they going to make this PG-13, or will it be TVMA? But now with recent stuff like Echo and what we saw there, and also the confirmation that the Netflix series are officially canon, what that means for the future. And specifically for the show, especially with some recent announcements, which just put my joy over the moon for this series, and get me so excited for it. We know it's been bumped down from the original 18 episode count down to now about 13. So I think that works. That's what the original Netflix series was, 13 episodes a season. So that's quite exciting. Like I said before, they are back up and running. They are now filming once again. Of course, they started filming Daredevil Born Again prior to the strikes, but then we got the actors and writers strike. They had to pause filming, and well, now we're back. We are back for Daredevil Born Again. Project name Out of the Kitchen. They're filming in the streets of New York City in Hell's Kitchen. Of course, that's where Matt Murdock is from. And we got some really great set photos here, which just put a smile on my heart. Some of these things, like this one. Man, Nelson, Murdock, and Page, attorneys at law, they are back. That was one of the best pieces of news we got about this show, was the announcement a week or two ago that Eldon Henson and Deborah Ann Woll are back as Foggy Nelson and Karen Page. Even if it is going to be a small role here, it's so much better than the original plan that they were just going to kill them off screen. That would have been a terrible idea that would have not went well with fans. So I'm really excited about this. They are back. And this one also very interesting as well. Teases our villain for the show. Not only, obviously, we have Kingpin right there, but also Muse as well. You can see at the bottom of that graffiti art painting, you can see almost abstractly, especially with the E, but it does say Muse, M-U-S-E. So Muse is going to be one of the main villains of this show. I did a video a couple weeks ago talking about that character, who he is, his motivations, what he does, all that. Really interesting, really terrifying sounding character. Something that gets me, again, more excited for this show is a villain like that, because just the nature of that character that almost confirms that this show is going to be TVMA, which, again, that's what we all want. If they can do it TVMA like they did with Echo, that'd be great. Or even better, because they really didn't completely utilize that rating with Echo. But if they do it here like they did on the Netflix series, I will be so happy. But the big thing we're talking about here with set photos is our first look at the White Tiger. Now, the White Tiger, it was rumored a while ago, prior to the strikes, back before they were even filming the first time, that the White Tiger would be a character appearing in Daredevil Born Again. We didn't know to what extent, but we will be getting the trial of the White Tiger. So this is a character from deep in Marvel Comics. I grew up with the character watching Ultimate Spider-Man on Disney XD, and now we have our live-action MCU debut of White Tiger, aka Hector Ayala. And that was one of the things that we weren't sure about, would it be the Hector Ayala version of White Tiger, or would it be the Ava Ayala version of White Tiger? And it seems maybe we might even get both. But at least to start, we are getting Hector Ayala. So this is our first look at him. And, pretty basic costume. Looks kind of like a homemade costume. But really interesting design. You can see, the tiger stripes and all that. Looks almost like white camouflage pants. It's a really interesting design that, again, I'm excited to see the finished product and all that. But White Tiger, interestingly, back when it was originally rumored that this character would appear in the show, not only was it rumored that it would be the Ava Ayala version of White Tiger, but specifically that supposedly Jenna Ortega was in talks to play the character, which obviously would be a huge get, but I feel at this point, especially considering we haven't heard much about it and her casting in a long, long time, I'm assuming if the character shows up, it'll probably be a different actress. I mean, Jenna Ortega, she's really popping off in Hollywood right now. She's quite a busy gal. So if we got her, that'd be awesome. That'd be fantastic. But it's not looking super duper likely. But these two characters go hand in hand. So that's why I'm saying we could get both. You could probably tell by them both having the same last name. But Hector Ayala is the original White Tiger. And then in the comics, after that character dies, his daughter, Ava Ayala, takes up the mantle. So my assumption here is that that's exactly the story that we're going to be getting, is Hector Ayala is going to be our main White Tiger in Daredevil Born Again. He's the one that we're seeing in these set photos here, and we know we're getting the trial of the White Tiger. In those set photos, I can't really tell, there's, from what I remember of like flashbacks of the character in Ultimate Spider-Man, it was like White Tiger was seen sometimes as a villain or like misunderstood or something along those lines. So it could be something like that, or it could also be he is a hero, which I think is more likely, and he's probably stopping a burglary in what looks like to be some sort of convenience store, and then he gets arrested for that, because we know a big plotline of this series is Wilson Fisk Kingpin. He's running for mayor of New York City, and one of his big selling points is that he's going to be outlawing vigilantes, just like he did in the Marvel Comics storyline Devil's Reign, which you know is going to be adapted to the MCU. So then Matt Murdock, he's going to come in, he's going to be his attorney, and hopefully he'll be a good enough lawyer for our Hector Ayala. But if not, then that brings in White Tiger, the second one, with Ava Ayala. And so I could see it being something where maybe either Hector Ayala, he is murdered, possibly even by a character like Muse, that would make that villain a much bigger presence, or it could also be just a situation where the trial doesn't go well and Hector ends up getting sent to prison. So then that is then when Ava comes in and she takes up the mantle from her father and she becomes the new White Tiger of the MCU. With there even being rumors already, I believe from Daniel RPK, that we are getting a White Tiger spin-off series on Disney+. So that'd be pretty cool. But definitely this is something I'm really excited to see. Daredevil, I love the original Netflix series, but with it being in the MCU now, you can tie in more superhero stuff and more comic book MCU connections, like a character like White Tiger, bring him in here. I think just a fantastic idea, and I'm loving all these set photos. You guys are gonna have to let me know in the comments below. What are you thinking about them? What do you think about more confirmation on Muse, our villain? Of course, Nelson, Murdock, and Paige, and also the trial of the White Tiger. So thanks much for watching. Please drop a like if you enjoyed this video and hit the subscribe button so I keep it up to date on everything that goes on in the Marvel life.